Good morning, everybody. This is Dr. Mo with Morning Cup of Moes. We got some awesome topics here today. I just want to take the time to actually thank everybody for what we've gotten thus far and the milestones that we've reached thus far. We've been doing it for a little bit less than a month, I think, up on YouTube, days. Something around those, on YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff. In the 28 days, we've reached on YouTube, and this is all thanks to you guys, 40,000. On Instagram, we've reached another 43,000. I want those to start relating into likes, subscribes, all that good stuff. So please, we're getting the views. Just make sure you share it with people and start liking the page so you get notified when we get a new video up there.
Show us some love.
Show us some love, baby. So Doc, give us the topics.
Like you said, we got some good topics today. We got coffee from Bigby, as you guys can see. We got a good topic today: money mindset and the importance of money.
Yep.
Going on to the next thing, we have upcoming UFC card, which is on March 4th. It's a nice fight. Nice main event. NBA All-Star Weekend.
That was a big weekend.
A lot of details.
That was a big weekend.
To talk about there.
That was a nice weekend.
And we have some NFL, as always. You know, the season's not over, so we're going to try to keep it alive.
We'll keep it going. We'll keep it going. Then we got a little bit of XFL stuff if we get to
NFL top 5 past era QBs and present, so we're going to talk about that as well. So let's go ahead and get into this coffee.
You want to go with we got the teddy bear latte, oat milk, and the dark roast. Which one you want first?
Come on, man. You already know what I'm picking.
You go take teddy bear, bro. I know you're taking teddy bear. Take your cup.
I'm outside?
Yeah.
Teddy bear.
Let's see how this is.
Ooh, this is milk, my boy.
No, I looked at it. I opened it. I was like, ooh, I don't know if I'm going to like this.
Some cereal
I literally walked in. I was like, listen, I think I've got Bigby once. And I was like, what's your best latte? And she said, this is her favorite. I said, okay, cool. Let me try it. So, and I told her oat milk, lighter on the oat milk, just because I know neither one of us like it super milky, but let's see.
You ready?
Give it a shot. Yeah, bro.
This is bad.
I'm giving it one more shot, but it's just I feel like I just need it with a bowl of cereal.
Oh my god, man.
Yeah, take that really far.
Garbage.
So is it as bad as the other one?
This is the worst one I've had.
Really?
Yes. I'm not even gonna rate this one. That's how bad it is.
Okay, move on. Next one, black.
What are you rating it?
I'm the same thing. I'm the same thing. I'm a one tops.
God,
I mean,
man.
that's just.
I can't continue the show.
Yeah, no. I'm a one tops. Is where I am with that. So it's just for me. Once again, it's maybe not knowing how to order from there. Maybe never ordering there before, but that aftertaste, it's just I need it with a bowl of cereal.
It's
just
like
give me cereal with it.
And too, right? It's like a little.
I just taste the milk. That's literally all I taste, and it sort of has that sour. I mean, I hope the milk wasn't bad. If you're tasting that burnt sour, yeah, it might be that. Let's go with their dark roast. Let's see how this one is.
This one's sour as well.
Well, you're gonna get that a little bit with the dark roast,
like
but
extra sour.
But the other one that we had last week, Coffee House, was
smoother.
That was a smooth dark roast. I mean, I could do this, but I'm not going back for it. You know what I had of theirs was their sugar-free Red Bull, whatever the heck it is. That was good.
That's good.
Not a coffee, but that was good.
That's good. I had it the other day with like strawberries and bananas.
I don't know how she made it for me. Yeah, she made it like raspberry, blackberry, whatever.
Really?
I don't know how she made it. I just said, what's your best of that syrup of that, and she's like, okay, I'll just take care of it. I said, okay. And I think it was blueberry, raspberry, and blackberry or something like that.
A lot of berries.
A lot of berries, but it was good. This 4.5.
I'm going 3.2.
Yeah, 4.5. I mean, it's a black coffee. I'm not expecting much out of it. I would want it to be a little bit smoother, less sour. But I'll be, probably won't be getting that again. But it's okay. So let's go on to money mindset. And what made you want to sort of bring that up? And then I'll get into it as well.
I feel like people forget the fact that if you lose money, you can still make money.
Yeah.
And I've seen that a lot with by the way, we're not financial advisors or anything like that. So go ahead and do your research if you guys want to invest in stocks or anything like that. But I feel like back in 2020 when the stock market was doing well, everybody was making money and all that. And then come last year, a lot of people were losing money.
Yeah.
And you see the shift in people's emotions. Everyone's sad and a lot of like rates of people doing things to themselves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you have to keep in mind that, hey, you made all this money. Yeah. Yes, you lost some of the money, which is completely fine, but you can make all this money again. So there's no reason to be sad of something that you can make again.
Yeah.
I think people are getting in the habit of making money in intrinsic value, which is an extrinsic value. Money has no value within itself. Money has value. The only value money has is spending your money.
Yeah.
Obviously, you need to save and whatever for a rainy day, but money within itself has no value whatsoever.
No, but here
that's the issue.
You know, and here's my thing, and I'm with you. And we talked about, I think we touched on this last week or the week prior, is how quick people were making money and trying to find good work ethic to try. And a lot of it had to do with the stock market, people getting free money, all that other stuff, and investing it, and seeing how easy, quote unquote, easy it was to make money at that point. I know a couple barbers and a couple people that were business owners that literally made a good amount of money during that time, closed down their business, stopped cutting hair. And I'm like, it's not going to last forever. What are you doing? Like, you can't do that. But they're back to working today. They had to get back to it, right? Because it's just not anything, especially like you and I, we don't have the common knowledge like someone at Edward Jones would have, or a financial advisor would have of some sorts. So it's like, yeah, we're just reading different things, but we don't know the ins and outs. I don't know how to read the graphs perfectly. Thing, I could look at the graphs and tell you what looks decent, general knowledge, but to tell you, no, not at all. So, you know, like for me, if anybody goes with the stock market, I'm like, dude, it's just, unless it's a 24/7 job and you're actually it's a side hustle. It's something that you could get done. But once again, if you're playing with the amount of money that's going to bury your family, like, I mean, I think that's just a risk that I wouldn't take myself. You know what I'm saying? So that's something where it's like, yeah, if you made all that money, losing it all, be smart. You should be okay with that, or pull out some of it, or do something along those lines.
You should invest. Rule of thumb: invest in what you can lose.
In what you could lose,
basically. So the money you put in, hypothetically, if you lose that, put that in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
If you're okay, then you're fine with investing that.
Yeah, and here's my other thing is, like, when we're talking in regards to money mindset, it's you know, quality versus quantity. And I could get into this, but I want to sort of take you on, or you pick your brain on what you think of what that means.
Quality versus quantity.
Yeah. When it comes to money.
Honestly, I think it could mean a lot of things. I think the main thing that it could mean is basically our traditional routes of needs versus wants. I feel like in today's world, everybody just wants extra things. Where basically, realistically, all you really need in today's life to live, you need shelter, you need food. Yeah. And I think people make it complicated where they need this bag and I need this.
Well, I think that's also keeping up with the Joneses and doing all that good stuff as well, like we talked about. I think I was sort of more or less going with this quality versus quantity is, and I'm gonna bring up our personal stuff, right? When we worked on Canton and we built it up, right? And we remodeled. We didn't go with the cheapest guy we found. We didn't go with the highest guy we found. We just went with the sort of middle of the way. He was a little bit cheaper, but you know, his at least his portfolio, or what he sort of showed us and told us that he did on his phone, looked good. But we saved a couple pennies. What did that do at the end? Jammed us. It jammed the crap out of us. So you get what you pay for at times.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where, if you put that value on the dollar and you don't put that value on the quality of work, you're going to end up losing at the end of the day anyways, because you're going to have to redo everything. You got to redo what you just did. Yeah, so at the end of the day, it's like, you know, you got to sort of look at it that way, where there's money to be made, right? But it's not everything. Like, do you believe truthfully money buys happiness?
I don't think money buys happiness. All these questions you're asking me are very complex.
Yeah, go ahead. So, get in the complexity of them.
I don't think money buys happiness.
Okay.
But I think you need some type of money to be okay. Because money basically makes the world go round, to be honest.
I get it.
Because if you don't have money, you can't live anywhere. You can't eat. You can't do any of that stuff. You can't have your necessity. You can't have your needs, basically.
No, I mean, I get that. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's what money was 10 years ago versus what money is now. I guess there's a difference with inflation and all that stuff, absolutely. Right? But it's still a matter of, you know, are you getting by on minimum wage in today's world? Probably not, right? But minimum wage jobs weren't made for you to support a family off of. They were made for college students to sort of get going and sort of make a bankroll while they're still going to school. So at that point, it's like, you know, yeah, I get, you know, 50,000 10 years ago. It doesn't go 50,000 like today. Yeah, absolutely. But you could still make a living out of it, right? And that's where my thing is like, people live in this facade of a world that they have to have the bags and the big houses and the cars and the this and the that. But if we read Millionaire Next Door, right? If you actually look at that book and look at what wealth really is defined as,
preach your means,
living within your means. So if you actually look at what you're making and what you're putting out, if what you're putting out is much more than what you're making, well, then you're not living within your means. You can never be wealthy, right?
You can be rich. You can't be wealthy though.
You can never be wealthy at that point, you know? So that's why I'm just like, yeah, I'm a firm believer that it comes nowhere near buying happiness by any means, because I've seen a lot of rich people that are very miserable.
Yeah.
I think it is what you make of it. And
it's mindset. Exactly what you just said.
I think, I think it's what you make of it. And I really think that it makes life easier.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
I think if you have your needs lined up, then money is okay to not have a lot of it.
Yeah.
I think if you don't have a lot of money and you don't have these needs lined up, I think you need that money to make you comfortable.
Yeah, but like you said at the very beginning, there's a lot of money to be made. It's just you need a lot of hustle. You need a lot of hard work. You need a good mindset.
Don't you think some people are at disadvantages though?
Explain.
Like, do you think some people don't have as much opportunity as an average person per se?
Well, I think everybody's like that, and every realm and every every world that you're in, a lot of it is what you know and who you know. How are you going to stand out? How are you going to say, "Look at me"?
How are you
right?
Be different than the guy
How are you
going
to be different than the guy down the street or anything along those lines? That. So it is who you know at times, and people do have more advantages than others. But it's just still you got to make best of what you got and work up the ladder.
Yeah.
And you know I was talking to a couple of people that were out west or actually here as well, and they're in the financial world. And at that point, you got to be okay with making a lateral move. If it's better. See, a lot of people are scared of change because they get comfortable in their life because of the money mindset, where it's like, hey, I don't want to risk losing this to get up here. I would rather just stay right here. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it's like, if you got to make that lateral move and go job to job to actually start turning heads and building up,
being better,
that's got to be okay. And you got to be, I don't want to say a fear of losing everything, because when you got a family and everything, you're fearful of that, but you got to take those risks to move forward, and they got to be calculated risks, not just a free with all, just throw everything down type of risk. But it got to be a calculated risk to actually move up in the world.
But you need money in this world. I feel like you have to have money in this world in order to be comfortable, at least.
I mean, once again, define comfort within your means. Listen, we were all brought up nowhere near like our parents, right?
Yeah.
We were all brought up with a golden spoon in our mouths.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate that more than, bro. I appreciate, yeah.
1, 2, 3,
they
4.
put me through school. They did all the, like, dude, I mean, they're living the American dream.
Yeah, for sure.
They came over hoping to give their kids a better life. And that's exactly what they did. So not everybody was raised that way, right? So we're living, or we're accustomed to a certain lifestyle, and we don't want to leave our comfort zone. Right. Sure. So no, can we live in our lifestyle on the way that we were brought up and making the minimum wage? No, we can't. But can you grow accustomed to that? Could you change it and still be happy?
I think it's very difficult in today's world with inflation and all that.
I mean, I'm not saying minimum wage. I misspoke. Not minimum wage, but I'm just saying, with inflation, all that stuff, I get it. But at the same time, it's like, you can within your means. I mean, it's just, you just gotta, like you just said, write it all out. What's with your necessities, what's needed. And yeah, I think it's more than possible. You got a couple mortgage guys that give mortgages, so it's a matter of, they'll tell you where you're supposed to be, and tell you exactly what you can get with that money and budget it out at that point. So I think everything's workable. It's just a matter of, how are you okay with taking a step back?
So, personal opinion, do you think the person living actually paycheck to paycheck is more comfortable than the person that just has money? No. I mean, living paycheck to paycheck is a stressful thing. It's very stressful, but it's, where's their paycheck going every single time? Right? I mean, if it's going to payments and all that other stuff, what are you going to do to work to cut those payments? Yeah.
Where are you going to look? Like, I mean, plain and simple, you got people cutting the cord for cable because they're saving $220 every month. You got people, changing their cell phone carriers. They're changing different things, but then they cut all those things, but they got 1,000,001 subscriptions that equates to the same exact thing as their bill.
They need to lower their means.
So it's like, what are your means going to be? What are your necessities? And if there's no need to have to live paycheck to paycheck if you're making a decent living,
food, and everything comes out.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like, it's more, to have more is less stressful, 100%. But I just said earlier, it makes it easier.
Yeah.
But I don't think it buys happiness by any means. Like, I'm a firm believer that there's no way it does, because I've seen a lot of rich people very miserable. So
they got too much going on.
And you had a picture up.
I found this picture on Twitter, and basically it was saying, the average purchase at Starbucks, if you buy a coffee, is around $4, correct? $4. And people don't buy that stuff usually. People buy other stuff like refreshers and stuff like that. So it's probably more than $4. But this is basically the life scale. And we'll display the picture up here. Basically, the person that spends $4 a week on a work week, which is 5 days, average spends $80 per month. which equates to spending $960 per year.
Mm-hmm.
Say hypothetically, instead of buying that coffee, you invested into a Starbucks stock, $4 a day, would equate to $80 a month, would equate to $960 a year. Basically, on the 20-year period that they're talking about, you'd invest a total of $19,200.
Yeah.
Where if you just bought your coffee, you're out that money. You're out 20 grand.
Yeah.
And then it talks a little more about the results and stuff like that. I'm not too fond of the results. I just want to mention the initial thing about it, but the results.
Yeah, you know, and I mean, I'm with you all the way there. I actually had this example with my kids the other day. My kids are playing, I don't know what game is hot right now, some game on the phone, whatever. You know, instead of buying Fortnite skins, they're buying gems or whatever the hell it is. And each one of them want $10 a kid or $20 a kid every freaking week. Dude, that's $60 a week. I'm like, are you joking? There's no way. Or $30 a week if you do the $10 one, right?
Yeah.
So I literally, this exact breakdown that you did, I did with them. I did with them this past week and said, no, it's done. Like, if you want
I think
that,
that's important for kids to see that at a young age.
yeah, and that's you have to expose them to that, or else they become careless with the money. Yeah. And that's why I showed them that, and I wrote it out for them exactly how what you just did in this picture, and I was like, this is what it's costing over the year. Like, if you want that and you want to waste your money on that, that's fine, but you better wake up without mom or dad telling you, brush your teeth, fix your bed, make sure the garbage is taken out, do all these things, and then you could do whatever you want. You earned it at that point. But I would still not want them to sort of free willy do whatever you want with the money, because then again they become careless with it as well.
You got to understand.
I want them to be responsible with it and understand the hard work with
awesome
it.
That you're doing that.
So you know it's hard, but it's at the same time where you know you got to do it. Where are we going on to next?
We'll talk about the UFC a bit. We're just going to talk about the main event at this card, March 4th. You got John Jones versus Cyril Gane.
John Jones hasn't fought since when?
February 8th, 2020.
Yeah.
So it's been a while.
It's been a while.
He's 26-1. Do you know how he got his loss?
Didn't he get disqualified?
Elbow.
Yeah.
Legal elbow.
Yeah.
He's versus Cyril Gane, which is 11-1. His only loss came to Francis Ngannou. So that's going to be a really good fight.
Yeah. I mean, Francis Ngannou is a beast, right?
He's a monster.
And looking at their where they usually walk around at the 205 and 245 weights, I don't know who's going up, who's coming down, or is that just in? Yeah, I don't know what their fighting weight's going to be at that point.
I think there's such a big gap in heavyweight where you could be. You could
probably be there.
Weights.
Yeah, probably with what the weight class is. But yeah, no, I would. Who are you taking in that?
John Jones.
Are you?
Even though he hasn't fought in a while.
He hasn't fought in a while.
He's an absolute unit. He's a monster.
He is, but it's been 2 years, man.
He's crazy.
3 years.
They're both 6'4", and like you mentioned, the weight 205 for John Jones, 245 for Cyril Gane.
The reach is big though.
Reach,
3-inch reach
difference.
Yeah.
84 inches for John Jones, 81 for Cyril Gane.
Yeah.
And 3 years apart in age. That's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I would want to go John Jones. But I think I'm going Cyril Gane.
Are you?
Yeah, I think I'm going Cyril Gane. Just looking at the age, looking at the most recently fought, and average, the reach sort of scares me a little bit. But once again, these heavier weights,
Are you worried about the time of fighting? He hasn't fought in a while.
That's my biggest thing.
That's your biggest thing?
That's my biggest thing. There's a difference between being in shape and being in fighting shape.
Yeah,
difference between being in shape and being in football shape or game shape.
There's some practicing games.
Yeah, there's a huge difference there. So he could be in the greatest shape of his life, but is he in fighting shape? And sparring is huge. Don't get me wrong. Like they train.
They put the Islam card on this card.
That would have been huge.
Somehow, some way.
They would have. There's no way, but that would have been huge.
But it'll be tough because everybody wants to be the main event.
Yeah,
you can't be.
And you said this is what, March 4th, right?
March 4th.
Yeah. So let's we'll keep on talking about that. We'll get into other fights in that card, but that big one, John Jones and Gane. Let's get into the NBA.
The three-point
contest, right?
We have a nice picture we'll put up here.
Yeah. Yeah, so that 3-point contest, man. So me and you were texting throughout, and who was it that went off? Halliburton went off, right? 31 the first round. And immediately I texted you and I was like, dude, this guy's just shooting lights out. And your first response was, he's jumping too much. Right, he's gonna get gassed.
No, Halliburton was not jumping too much.
No, the first time he did. First round he did. Yeah. Not as much as who was it? Randall?
I think Tyler Hero was jumping a lot.
Tyler Hero was jumping a lot.
That's who was jumping a lot.
And that's when we were talking about it. But Halliburton did, and you're like, bro, he's gonna be gassed.
Yeah, for sure. Because in a contest like that, you can't exert all your energy on your jump.
Yeah.
It has to be like quick releases because you're shooting so many.
Yeah.
So you got to find that equilibrium where basically you're going throughout the whole 3-point contest with a rhythm.
Yeah.
If you lose that rhythm, you're
done.
Be off task.
You're done.
Julius Randle was in there. I have no idea why he was in there.
Yeah.
Terrible take on that.
Dame time. Dame time.
Dame Dollar.
It was literally his last shot, right?
Dame Dollar. It was the last
The
shot.
last shot, beat it, won it. And it was, I don't think you could have written it up any better.
He finally won one.
He finally won one.
This is his third one, I believe.
Yeah, and I think honestly, like that's who truthfully I was looking at. Like, all right, you got Dame. I'm surprised Tatum didn't do a little bit better. I think him going first, sort of, he didn't know what bar to set.
Yeah.
And he was just sitting there waiting the entire time, watching everybody in anticipation if he's going to be eliminated or not. But Tatum just, he showed up the next night. But we'll talk about that.
But he healed. I'm surprised he didn't do better.
Yeah. But you kept on saying that. You kept on saying.
I thought he was gonna win it going in.
Yeah, but Dame was just on. He was on fire that day, and then that just went on to the next day.
The crazy thing about Dame, he went to college 30 minutes away from the Utah arena.
Okay.
Speaking of the Jazz,
so that's why he was wearing the
Wichita.
College. Okay, that's why he was wearing that. Okay,
30 minutes away from the arena.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense then. Because I was like, hold on, why is he wearing? I didn't look it up.
It's cool that the commissioner let him.
Yeah, let him do that.
And then
yeah.
On the back, I don't know if you mentioned his name. It's a Dollar.
Dollar. Yeah. I seen that. But no,
awesome.
I enjoyed watching that. It was good. It was quick. I was sort of stunned because back in the day they never had the corner shots as their money basket. Well, they didn't have money basket that much. It was just the last shot. But the corner shot was like their favorite shot. Everyone's money basket was in the corner shot. And like everybody else, I would expect, common person just watching would be top of the key or side of the key.
Did you see side of the key, the starry range?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Big dollars.
I hated the way they set that up.
Really?
I'm sorry. Like that actual stand was dead center in the star, and they had to be standing in the star circle, whatever it was.
Around it.
So I wish they just had it to the side so they could actually stand in there and not sort of mess with their stance. Right. Yeah. So I think that was big. Now, dunk contest, it was back, baby. It was back. That was big.
Tell us the contestants.
I actually enjoyed it. You had, who was this? Trey Murphy, Jericho Sims, Mac McClung, and Kenyon Martin Jr.
Kenyon Martin Jr.
So I really, really enjoyed that, except for one.
Bro.
Was it Trey Murphy? Trey Murphy was just...
Jericho Sims, I think you didn't like.
No, which one was it that was just
the
straight?
Elbows?
Yeah, straight elbows. It was just Jericho Sims. Sorry.
Yeah, terrible.
So that was just straight. Took Vince Carter and tried to just make it his own.
Doing it.
And he did the same thing. I'm like, what? And then the second time when he went double, his wrist caught in. And then he sort of cheated a little bit and got the rest of his arm in. Yeah. I thought he was just bad.
It's so funny because if you look at the players on the side that were watching, they had zero reaction.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. I mean, it was just not the greatest. But the other guys, man, talk about Mac
McClung. He was in the G League about a week ago. They signed him to the Sixers actual roster, and man, that's crazy what he
dude looks like he could be your financial advisor.
Yeah.
I mean,
small.
I looked at him, I'm like, really?
6'1",
and you told me watch him, and I'm like, come on, man, really? There's no way. Yeah, I was like, there's no way. But I also seen
dunker, man.
Did you see how much he made his entire NBA career thus far?
100,000,
106,000.
He made 100,000.
Yeah,
or something?
so he almost made as much as his entire career in one night.
Did you see his Instagram followers?
No.
Beginning of the dunk competition, it went from like 80,000 to like, I think 800,000.
Really? No, I didn't see that.
So much exposure.
But it's crazy what it did for him. But man, he was just unreal. Was it a 520? I know they said a 520, but when you're watching the replay,
how you look at it from the initial jump going around. Like, are we talking when he dunked it? Stop there, because if not, no, that's a 360.
I think.
But if you're saying when he lands.
No, yes. But I thought, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought it from when the ball goes in the net. I have no
idea. I can't correct you.
Ball goes in the net. That's it. It's done at that point. Now you're landing at that point, right? So
I don't think
they called it a 520, but I mean, it was still a 50. I mean, without a doubt, it was still a 50. Speaking of
Leslie
that,
was the first female that was a judge in the dunk competition, and she gave him a 49.
Yeah,
on one of the dunks.
I seen that. I'm like,
Lisa, you gotta do better.
You gotta do a lot better than that. You don't have to be different, like, especially with that. Like, it was that good. So he was a 50 across the board.
That was only the 49 throughout the whole night for him.
Yeah.
He had 50s throughout it all.
Yeah, no, it should not have been that at all.
You see what Josh said?
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate it. What do you say? Say it.
He's like, I'll do the dunk competition if we get 1 billion likes.
I hate that. I truthfully hate that because, once again, going back in the day, showing my age, but it was an honor to do these things, and they enjoyed putting on a show for the fans.
Yeah.
And now it's like, you got to beg me to do it, and it's like, come on, man.
There's
Like,
so
just
many good people that need to do it. Like
do it for
Zion,
the Zion, Ja, LeBron in his prime, like when he could, when he's not there. I wish he would have did it, man. I really wish he would have did it. I think he would have been special in it. There's so many people that should be doing it that just refusing to do so. I mean, what is the 100K that Matt got beneath them? Like, I mean, dude, just do it for the fans. Don't even do it for the financial benefits. And that really bothered the crap out of me. You know, which I was just like, whatever. All-Star
did have a nice dunk in the game, though.
He did.
Yeah,
he did
like a pump where he went up.
But I feel like he does that because he's just like, yeah, I got this. I could do this, but I'm just choosing not to.
I'm not going to.
I'm just choosing not to.
Which
and I'm like,
pisses me off even more.
It pisses me off so bad. I'm like, dude, just get it done. Just get in there. Show people what's up. Everyone knows you got the dunks. Like, just show it.
Got the bunnies. Show us.
I wish he could. All-Star game. Go ahead. Give us the picks.
Team LeBron, Team Giannis.
Yeah.
No captains, though.
Yeah.
Giannis played one play, left the game, and then LeBron got hurt off the... Tried dunking or tried blocking.
No, he tried to play defense in All-Star game that no one plays defense and tried coming up from behind and blocking somebody. His finger got caught.
Why you always hating on LeBron?
I'm just telling you as I seen it.
Haters.
Not hating on him. I wish he would do the dunk contest.
Team LeBron, you got Joel Embiid, Kyrie. He picked Kyrie, second pick. Second pick.
They went nuts.
Luka, Joker, Anthony Edwards, Jaylen Brown, PG, Halliburton, Randall, Fox, JJ. Team Giannis, you have Tatum, Ja, Mitchell, Lowry, Damian Lillard, Drew Holiday, SGA, DeMar DeRozan, Pascal Siakam, Bam, and Sabonis. Honestly, looking at these teams, I'm like, LeBron's team is going to smoke these people.
Yeah.
Smoke.
But Giannis, so I think Giannis threw a curveball because everyone thought he was going Drew Holiday off the rip. So when he went Tatum off the rip, I think LeBron sort of took a step back like, wait, what? He probably thought he was getting Tatum.
Yeah.
So I sort of think he took a step back there, and I think he shocked everybody at that point. But it was a fun game. Kids enjoyed it, right?
Yeah.
I think the first half was a little bit better than the second. Second half, I feel like Team Giannis got ahead so much that they just started messing around, shooting half-court shots, trying to let Team LeBron sort of catch up a little bit there. But I mean, I thought it was decent all in all. I think
comparing it to the last 2 years, though, it was awful.
Yeah. But I'm in comparison to the NFL.
Just like you're comparing to the Pro Bowl. Anything's better than the Pro Bowl.
They are light years ahead. Light years ahead of the NFL.
Yeah,
like it's absolutely ridiculous. I know, but this was like they're changing it. But you know what I hated? Absolutely could not stand. Oh, we're not gonna pick last. We don't want anybody to feel like they're picking last.
Yeah, they did pick last though.
They still pick last. Like you're trying so hard to not hurt feelings or do whatever. Like just pick the damn team.
Just pick
whoever's supposed to be. Everyone knows where they stand. Okay, if you're talking about in regards to Siakam versus Tatum, Siakam thinks he's gonna go before Tatum.
Probably not.
No. I mean, I'm sorry. If he's in his right mind, he's not.
Being picked last, like in grade school and stuff like that, if you ever pick last, that's
chip on your shoulder.
It's like,
chip on your shoulder.
I got to show these guys that I'm not last.
That was your chip on your shoulder.
Or it's like that. It's gone.
It's gone. Yeah, and I just feel like the whatever competitive nature they had within it is like they still want to take it out. Like no, you're not allowed to compete in this game at all, and that just bothered the crap out of me.
You see what Kyrie did with the shoes?
Yeah, covered up the Nike logo.
He was wearing like a moccasin type where the logo was covered.
Do you blame him?
I think Nike did Kyrie very dirty, to be honest.
I think Kyrie, the NBA, I think Brooklyn, I think they all did Kyrie pretty dirty.
Kyrie's shoes, if you look at the concept of it, and when Nike kicked out Kyrie, who'd they sign right away? They signed Ja. Those shoes look identical to Kyrie's.
They do.
I feel like all the prototypes they had for Kyrie, they just slapped
right over Ja.
And they put Ja's on.
Yeah.
Which, man.
Yeah, I seen that, and I was just like, I feel like they all sort of did Kyrie a little dirty just for, sort of going against the grain, I guess. Whether you talk about it in regards to what he did during COVID, during whatever. And this was the final hit with Nike. I think he'll sign back with somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know with who, obviously, but I mean, I think he would. I think everybody would be crazy. I think he's got to
be one of your big people. I don't think it'll be Nike or Under Armour or anything like that.
Maybe New Balance or
smaller. New Balance,
might
Puma,
be New Balance, Puma, something along those lines. But I think he literally just needs to win. Enough talking. He needs to win. Yeah. So I think if he does that, then people forget things when you win. Basically, Jason Tatum went freaking off. He was like, all right, I'm not going to win this 3-point contest. Let me just start nailing them in the game. Let me hit 10 threes in this game, right? So this boy broke some records at 55 points.
Who held it before? Anthony Davis.
Yeah,
52. He took that from him.
So he just went off. I can't get over
Tatum versus Jaylen Brown.
That was nice.
That was awesome.
I was texting you. I was like, bro, this is epic. Like, this is great. Like, I loved it. And I think that's what I liked the most about it was just the opposite. Teammates that have that bond. So they look like they were playing backyard ball. Yeah. And they were just messing with each other.
And I'm happy they win at each other because a lot of people, because they asked him, he's like, oh, we're on the same team in real life and this and that. Yeah. I'm so happy they actually win at each other.
Jalen Brown sort of got the better of him.
I think
did he not? He got the better of him, man. I mean,
Brown is a beast.
He is. Now, what happened is a facial fracture. Was that from Tatum elbows?
From Tatum. He
right?
bumped into him.
Yeah, he bumped into him, and that's why he had the mask on.
It was his first game back.
Yeah. That's why he had the mask on.
That mask looked sweet.
It did. He was Batman, baby. He looked like Batman. And then when we looked, yesterday, Russell to the Clippers.
Today in the morning. Yes.
Russell to the Clippers. What do you feel about that?
I feel like Russell is just in the same situation he was with the Lakers.
100%.
The only different situation here is the Clippers are actually in the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
And the Lakers are not seeded for the playoffs. But listen, man, for Russell to work, I think he needs to be on a team where he's number one. Because right here, he's behind two players. It's by Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. He's the third option.
Yeah.
I think he needs to go somewhere where he's the number one and needs to focus the ball around him.
You think his ego will let him be a number 2 or 3, though?
Yeah, because he was coming off the bench.
I know.
He was coming off the bench with the Lakers, so I think that ego has simmered down.
Okay.
He can do that. I don't look at him as a bench player. He just needs to go somewhere. Like if he stayed in Utah and they grew around him, but the management and stuff wanted to focus on the young core, so he couldn't be there.
Where was he prior? He first started with the Thunder. He was with Durant and Harden, right?
Yeah, and then he went out.
And then where'd he go?
Spaced out.
Yeah.
And then Carmelo and Paul George came to the Thunder. That didn't work out.
Yep.
And then he went to the Rockets with Harden.
Harden again.
That didn't work out. And then he ended up in LA with Anthony Davis and LeBron.
Yeah. So you've played with studs. You played with studs your entire career.
Clearly that's not working though. That's why you need to be
and that's my question is, when's the time that comes in and you just look in the mirror and say, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe it's me. Because you played with these stars that they should be winning. Now, the chemistry is huge. You could have 5 stars on a team on the court at the same time. If chemistry is not there, good luck. And I believe that wholeheartedly. You got to work together in unison to actually win something.
No, I agree.
But I mean, I don't know how much I sort of hope he does just because I want Kawhi to win it.
I'm telling you,
but I don't know if he does it.
He needs to be the number one.
But I don't think he's good enough to be the number one.
He's performing though. Have you seen his stats?
Yeah, but it's
26.
It's easier to perform when you're coming off though. When you're coming off the bench, you got 2 other guys you got to worry about.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
I feel bad for Russell.
It's sort of like that star receiver. That star receiver, if he gets countermate like Juju Smith, you get Juju. When he was across from AB, he was unreal. Take AB away, and now he's the number one. He didn't do what he was supposed to be doing. So that's what I'm saying with Russell. Same thing. Maybe he's just always gonna be the 6th man, and he should be okay with it because he's getting the numbers as a 6th man.
Yeah. So
no, I don't think he needs to be the number one. I don't think he could be the number one anymore. I don't think he has that winning mentality. He needs the team around him within unison. And that's why I'm just like, I sort of compare him to Juju, where they're great players, but they need that star next to them to get it done.
They need the right system to fit in.
They need the right system.
Yeah.
On to our NFL. Okay.
Derek
Carr. Granted his release. At the time we were asking where does he end up, but he took a meeting with the Jets on Saturday.
You think Derek Carr's good? I think he sucks.
No, I don't think he sucks.
I think he sucks, man.
I mean, listen, there's 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL. I put him, top 16. He's middle of the way. Maybe top 20, maybe he's just outside of the top 16.
I think he's
but yeah, I mean,
nothing special.
I would take him over a few guys.
Like who?
I'd probably take him over Goff.
I wouldn't take him over.
Yeah, I would.
Goff is a manager. He manages the game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But if you're down by 13 in the 4th, do you want a manager? Or you want someone that can sling it? Do you know what I'm saying? And Derek Carr
Goff can sling though.
He can, but it's just not a natural thing for him. Goff did great last year. Don't get me wrong. I don't want Detroit to get rid of him.
I think Goff over Carr though.
I don't know. I would take Carr. I would take Carr all day. No.
Oh yeah.
He took a meeting with the Jets. I think that would be a great fit for him. I don't know who else Aaron Rodgers was rumored, but then Aaron Rodgers came out and said Ian Rappaport and whoever it was, Schefter, aren't in my inner circle. Tell them just basically shut up. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. So no one knows what he's doing except for his inner circle, which seems to be just Pat McAfee and a couple of his boys there. So Carr is the first one, and Do I think he's a game changer? Do I think that he brings their offense up to relevance? I think the only thing they were missing was a quarterback. So I think this sort of fills that spot for the time being, and it's sort of like a Band-Aid, not a temporary fix.
He's still young though, right?
He's on the younger side. I think he's late 20s. I could be wrong with that. I didn't look it up.
Yeah.
But I think he's late 20s. So I don't think if they bring him in, their search is stopped. I think they could still, work on maybe finding someone else through free agency next year, or there may be a 2 to 3 year fix at that point. But I think that's where it goes. Lamar, don't know where he ends up. What do you think?
I seen a picture and edit. It was him in an Atlanta jersey.
I'm like, ESPN edited that.
This doesn't look right.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't see him in a.
I don't think it looks right,
jersey.
but I also don't know if the Ravens end up paying him. What he wants. I mean, truthfully, and I hope Detroit don't touch him.
No, I don't think
there's a lot of Detroit fans are like, bring him to Detroit, bring him to
too much money.
They're not a quarterback away from making it to the playoffs. No, they got it in golf. Leave golf alone. He's there. But I could see him in Atlanta jersey. Vic 2.0. I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, I think he's Vic, just a little bit more accurate, a little bit, the finesse and the speed and all that stuff.
I think Baltimore just needs to keep him. But I think they need to get him a nice receiver.
Well, if they keep him, they can't afford a nice receiver.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. I think he needs to hop down from his high horse.
That's
take
what I'm
a little
saying.
bit of a cut.
Thank you.
So they could pay a receiver.
And he won't.
Because him getting that money, you're not going to win.
You're not going to win.
Listen, in the NFL and a lot of times in NBA situations, you need to figure out, am I going to hurt my team by taking all this money, or do I want to win?
Yeah.
Those are two things. I've seen that with Carmelo Anthony.
Yep.
He always wanted to take the bag in New York. Always took it.
Yeah.
He never wanted to win. He never did win.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. So that's where I'm just like,
players.
That's a huge issue with players. It's either you got to, and they don't understand the bigger picture. I'm sorry. You win, you get different contracts. You get different things that you could actually promote.
Yeah, because now you're a
Super Bowl champion.
Or you're
so
NBA champion.
It's just like
the
winning will end up bringing you more than what your contract's ever going to bring you.
Yeah.
If you look at Jordan, if you look at even LeBron, if you look at all these players that have been up there, Brady. They make more money in their ads than they did in their playing career.
Money's gonna come.
It's just like,
it doesn't need to necessarily come from the NFL.
Create your name, create everything like that. Create what a star you are.
People don't get
and
this.
Let them bring the stars around you, because if you chew up all that money, dude, they're not bringing anybody around you. They can't afford to.
You think Lamar Jackson's gonna watch this and learn?
No, absolutely not. I wish. Ridley to be reinstated. I think that's big for the Jags. I think that puts them, with Lawrence, Ridley, and Kirk. And remember, when Ridley got suspended.
What happened to him? He was gambling.
They gambled like $1,500 on a game. It wasn't a game that he was on, but they figured out. I think it was on one of those, the whatever app it was. But in 2018, he played 16 games, 64 receptions, 821, and 10 touchdowns. 13 games, 63 receptions, 66 yards, and 7 touchdowns. 2020 was 15 games, 90 receptions, 1374 yards, and 9 touchdowns. The guy's a performer. And now put him opposite of Kirk with Lawrence, the way that he turned it on at the end of the year.
Scary.
They're going to be scary. They're going to be a little scary there. I'm going to get into a little bit of free agencies here.
Go for it.
And we got KC and Philly on top here. I really want to get into KC. And if you look at their free agency list, you got Orlando Brown, Juju Smith, Carlos Dunlap, Nandi, Wiley, Chad Henne retired, Jerick McKinnon. These are just ones that I sort of wanted to mention. These are all free agents, right? Mm-hmm. Of looking at those free agencies, which one would you want to keep? Pick 2.
Who would I want to keep?
Yeah, like who do you think is like the main thing that the main player that they need to keep in order to repeat?
I like McKinnon.
Okay.
And I like. This is tough. I'm not really good with the defensive players on their team, to be honest with you, but I'm just going to go with McKinnon on here. I don't want to say the absolute wrong thing. So I'm going to allow you to go ahead.
You got to know my 2? Truthfully?
Yeah.
You got to keep Mahomes upright. You sign Orlando Brown and Andrew Wiley, the 2 tackles, as fast as you possibly can, and let everybody else take a walk. Let everybody else take a walk,
I see
protect
that.
your asset, and call it a day, because they had one of the top lines, I think top 10 or maybe 10th in the NFL. And you protect your asset, because when he wasn't protected, he still gets it done. Don't get me wrong, he's Patrick Mahomes, still gets it done. But it's just a matter of he kept on getting hurt, and you got to protect him. You know, Ronald Jones and McKinnon and
all
Juju,
interchangeable.
all these guys are interchangeable. Yeah. You take those two guys off the map. That's it. And if you do that, I think they can be an early favorite.
That's a good answer. I'm glad I made you answer it, not me.
I think you can be early chance to repeat. Very, very early Super Bowl prediction. Let's go to AFC first. AFC Championship. Pick your top 2 or top 3 teams to be in there.
Top 2. I'm gonna go Chiefs Bills.
Okay.
Chiefs Bills. I think the Bills. I don't know, man. Every year I say the Bills, and the Bills are gonna do this.
Yeah.
But the Bills remind me of the Cowboys on the NFC side.
Yeah.
It's always like the Cowboys are gonna go far. This is net. But I'm gonna actually no. I'm gonna.
I know. You remembered your boy. You remembered your boy. I'm going
to go Chiefs Bengals.
Again?
Yes.
Okay.
Give me a rematch. Joe Burrow gets it done. We go to the Super Bowl.
Okay. So I got one for you. I'm going to tell you the top 4 coming out the AFC.
I know what you're going to say.
No, I'm not saying my team. They're not there yet.
No, I know what you're going to say.
Jags.
Yes, I swear I knew it.
Jags, Bengals, Chiefs. Who am I missing? That was Chiefs. Who else did you say? Bills. Right? Those are your top 4. Yeah. Where I think with Doug Peterson and that team with the Jags, they could get over that hump, and they might surprise people.
Don't you think?
They were in the playoffs this year. They could turn it around. He did it with Philly with a young team. I think truthfully they're going to be the early sleeper, and you could go Jags Chiefs with probably the Chiefs coming back on top. But I wouldn't be surprised either way. With any one of those 4, I would not be surprised with. But if I had to pick right now, I mean, that just might be going out on a limb just to say I was right, 9 months from now and just laugh about it. But I think that's where I would be. So NFC, who do you got?
Man, can I pick my Lions?
I'm there with you.
Are you?
I'm there with you. Yeah. I'm there. I'm
top 4 teams. I'm gonna pick the Lions.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick the Eagles.
Yep.
Man, this is tough. You putting the Cowboys up there or no?
No. I have no faith in them.
Really?
0.
So I got Lions, Niners. I'm putting the Niners up there.
Day. Yeah.
And one more team.
I could only come up with those 3 myself personally.
That's all I really could come up
with.
I
could only come up with the
Vikings. Maybe.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
You don't think they do something?
I don't think so.
Potentially.
No, I think the Lions take that division. They're the only ones in.
I think the Vikings have every single piece that they need.
But I don't know what, as an organization, they can't get over the hump.
Yeah.
They can't get over that end of the season.
Are you going with the same 3?
I'm going with the same exact 3.
All right.
And I'll probably go NFC Championship. I hate to keep the Eagles out. I really do. But I would probably end up going Niners, Lions, just because, once again, I want to go out on a limb.
Man, you got
NFC Championship. I got you nice.
Thank you. I'm going to shake your hand.
I got you nice. Those are the 3 that I sort of have up there.
Wow.
I can't pick. I really think Niners, Eagles would end up being it again, but I think the Lions got what it takes to be in there. Yeah. Detroit has what it takes to be in there. I think with the pieces, if they do the right thing there in the draft, they're there. So we wanted to get into this last week, and I think we get into this briefly here, or as much as we possibly can. Last era of quarterbacks versus this era of quarterbacks.
You want me to rank the top 5?
And I want you to rank the top 5 of the last era. We got Brady, Breeze, Peyton, Rivers, Ben, and Eli. All right. In order.
Give me Brady.
Of course.
Give me Manning.
Okay.
Give me... I don't like Eli, man, but... Give me Breeze.
Yep.
Give me Eli.
You're nuts.
Give me Ben.
You're nuts.
And give me Rivers.
Okay. I mean, that's your typical. That's how everybody would say.
Yeah.
So myself personally, and when I picture this, I picture, the fact that we are in their prime.
Yeah.
We got 4 minutes on the clock, or 2 minutes on the clock, or 1:30 on the clock, and we need one of these people to actually drive us down the field and have confidence that they're going to get it done.
Is it the regular season or is it the playoffs?
It doesn't matter.
I think
it doesn't matter. No,
because if it's the regular season, I take Manning all day over all.
Yeah, okay. I get what you're saying. But I just, that's where I sort of placed them, and then I look at their winning percentages, and I look at how many Super Bowls and how they did it and all that good stuff, right? And I take Brady, Peyton, 1, 2, easy. no doubt.
Don't disrespect
Three, 4 is where I sort of go, Ben, Breeze, interchangeable at that point.
I like that.
And they're interchangeable at that point. But I personally, call it a bias, call it whatever you want. I'm going Ben. He's just more of a winner at that point, and he'll risk more on the line. He's done a little bit more with less, but I will say when he came into the league, he had an established team. He basically came into the league and they basically said, here's the keys to the car. Don't mess it up. Right. So I don't want to be that biased individual that thinks he overtook us for that first. No. He just didn't mess it up. Right. Yeah. But what he became, with his record of 178, 91 and 1, I thought that was good. So once again, Brady, Peyton, Breeze and Ben interchangeable for 3, 4. I'm taking Eli, then Rivers. Okay. That's usually where I would go there. And
I think Ben's too high on your list, but I'm gonna let you have it.
I mean, you look at fourth quarter comebacks. Basically, you got Brady at 46, Payne at 43, Ben at 41. I mean, it's just clutch time. Who are you taking? And those 3 are sort of where I put them, and that's why I put them 1, 2, 3 of the last era.
I'm glad you said interchangeable for 3 and 4.
I mean, it's more opinion. I mean, at the end of the day, I think Ben deserves to be at 3 more than anything, just with the Super Bowls and what he's done, especially 2. He's got 2. Yeah, he's got 2. Yeah.
I don't know.
So I think that's where he belongs to be. I mean, this kid was a rookie, and Jerome Bettis wanted to retire, and he basically told him, "Just give me 1 more year, I'll get you to the Super Bowl. It's at your home next year." It was in Detroit against Seattle, and he ended up doing it. He was special. He was really fun to watch. New era. Let's just do this. Here. We got Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Hurts, Herbert, Lawrence, Fields, Kyler. Which one are you going there?
I'm putting Burrow at 1.
Okay.
Mahomes at 2. Herbert at 3. Josh Allen at 4. 5. Let me get Trevor Lawrence. I'm doing 5.
Okay. Okay. I mean, right now, the way their game is, not higher ceiling or whatnot, I'm going Mahomes easily. Mahomes, Burrow, Hurts and Allen are tough. Okay. So I'm going Mahomes, Burrow. I'll probably go.
Oh, I didn't mention Hurts.
You didn't mention Hurts. I'll go Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Hurts. And then once again, Herbert and Lawrence interchangeable, I believe, at 5 to wrap it up there.
I think we're sleeping on Herbert. I think Herbert's going to have a career year next year.
Yeah.
Because not the last year just passed up. The year before that, he was awesome. He was very good.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, it's...
I think Herbert's getting slept on, though. I think he needs to be higher.
No, I think he's getting slept on. I'm with you with that. But I just think it's the organization thing as well, where that's where they ended up, Phillip Rivers, they raced his career. Drew Brees got the hell out of there. There was just a lot of people that just said, hey, they don't produce the winningest stuff going on here. So that brings us to a wrap here. We have some other topics. Next week, we're going to get into the Would You Rather wide receiver edition.
Yes.
And we're going to get into XFL and some rule changes that they brought on that the NFL sort of testing. I actually watched some of that, and it wasn't a horrible product. It was better than anything else. So once again, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Dr. Mohazimi.
I'm Dr. Ahmed. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, show us the love. Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys soon.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.